Well, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again for another wee special health practice. We're doing our Chen style Laoja Ilu, the first 18 steps. So that is inclusive. It's the full first quarter of the form. I'm delighted that you have made it to this first milestone. Let's take right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight and tuck back that thumb. Feet together, hands together, and we salute. But before we get into the choreography, as always, we need to warm our bodies. So let's open the stance and we feed into the four corners of the hips. Breathe, calm, decompress. Now, there is a concept that we want to employ at all times in our Tai Chi training, and it is known as Tingjun. Tingjun. So that means listening energy. We want to listen, not just with our ears, but with our whole bodies. Listening is an incredible practice, and it's not necessarily something that we do much of at all in our lives. You might think, well, if you're having a conversation, you're listening and you're listening to me as we're doing this. But often, yes, we would have a certain degree of listening. But if you're lining up what you want to say next, or if you're sort of allowing the mind to drift off on having been stimulated by what another person says, then we are no longer listening. And when we talk about listening energy in Tai Chi, we are not necessarily saying that you need to listen to your teacher, though that helps. It's useful to take a bit of guidance. But we're talking about listening to our own system. Listen to your body. Listen to your breath. Listen to the sensations, to all of the information our senses are giving us. Let's change direction, please. And this takes time. It takes that dreaded word, discipline. Discipline not meaning punishment, but that we keep gently encouraging our system to work a little bit. So listening is not something that is necessarily, it's natural, but it's not done much. But it is actually very, very useful. Why? Why is listening useful? Well, it means that you know what you're working with. And interestingly, listening is a very different way to use the brain. The brain is an incredibly powerful tool, but while our mind is jumping about with the monkey mind jabbering away at us and many, many thoughts running through our heads, we are actually dissipating our innate power. We're dissipating our life force and our energy. Every thought is a wave. Every thought sends energy in that direction. So a scattered mind means scattered energy. Good. So let's do our movement too, please. Keeping the body straight and upright this time, we feed into the four corners. So when we're listening, we are opening our awareness, opening our faculties to experiencing what is happening in the present moment. So that in itself is unifying. It's unifying our mind, it's unifying our conscious awareness into a single point, into this moment in time. So once our awareness is unified, that means that all the power of the mind is focused into a single diamond point of, or laser point of focus. And where the mind goes, the energy follows. So it's not just an abstract thing, it is a physical thing. When you're focusing your conscious thought, we are focusing our energy. And where the energy goes, our strength follows. We are actually physically changing our degree of strength with our focus, with our focused intent. And it doesn't require kind of real, it doesn't acquire, and it doesn't need effort. It just needs awareness. You bring your awareness to wherever you want your energy to be strongest. So we can use that in martial arts. If you want to punch someone, you want your energy in your fist so that you don't hurt your fist and you have extra strength on impact. We also want it in the elbow going the opposite direction, but not go into that for now. So we can use it for martial conditioning. We can use it to make sure that we are strong to take or dole out impact. Let's change direction, please. But we can also use it very effectively for healing and well-being. So if you have a cold foot, for example, by breathing, relaxing, and feeling into your foot, listening into your foot with your awareness, you're actually going to bring energy into your foot without any physical action. You can redirect energy and therefore stimulate physical function. So we can heal ourselves, or certainly aid healing, simply by taking a journey with the mind. But that journey is the journey of listening. It is not that we're trying to change things by manifesting change through action. No, listening is passive. We simply listen and the body does the rest. The body knows what we want. It's listening to us as we're listening to it, and the energy flows and the body starts to recover or get stronger. Good. So listening is a very underestimated tool. Let's come back to center, please. We're going to stand on one leg and gently spiral down through a leg. And let's change direction. So listening within our own being is very powerful within our practice. But if you are a social being and spend time around people, you may try spending more time listening to the people talking to you than talking. That's difficult for me, but but I can do it. It's good to listen. So if someone is going through something, you can just be present and be kind, not just stare at them, but be open and let them talk. Let them express themselves, and not just sit and wait until they stop talking. Let's change direction before we say what we're thinking. Actually listen. They may not need you to say anything. It might just be that they need to get something off their chest. Shake out, please. But the act of listening is a very rare art. Let's step forwards and down. And we go forwards and back. And breathe. So you can empower others by listening to them. Oh, nice and relaxed. Notice how you feel. Notice if you are literally clicking and cracking, as I am. So you can listen to that as well. You can notice the quality of the sound and the feeling of any clicking and cracking. Some won't bother you, change over please, and some will be uncomfortable. So we learn to differentiate. What is the body telling me? Is it happy? Is it responding well to what we're doing? Or do we need to adapt? So that's part of listening. If a messenger comes with an urgent message, you can listen to it, but if you don't take action, if you just listen and go, oh, all right then yeah, that's not much use. So sometimes we have to take action, or just change our, what's the word? Change our approach, maybe. Let's shake out. Let's widen our stance. Just do what you can. So remember, the wider you go, the deeper you go. If you don't want to bend your knees very far, you're going to have to keep it high, and then you can stay short, and then you can stay high. If you feel you can go deeper, you go wider. We don't want to stay in a short stance and a deep stance. So sit down and turn the waist and breathe. If you've had enough of the deeper stance, you can bring it in and up. Listen to your body. Good, so we can start having the head facing forwards. That's a nice neutral double twist for your spine. Second version, we can let the head turn with. That's the most neutral of all three. And if it feels appropriate, you can look over your shoulder and you can actually look first before you twist. So the head can actually lead the way. That's a third option for the most intense spine twist. Good, back to center. Again, listen to your body. I have to be careful these days with dizzy-like movements that may cause dizziness, because I do get dizzy. So breathe and relax. So again, don't just say to yourself, well, I'm like this, and then forever stick to a certain rigid practice. Check in with yourself each day. You may well find that some exercises are outside of your wheelhouse, but if you just sort of cross them out in your mind, it rules out progression. So every so often you can try to just try and see what happens. Good. Ease out of your stance, please. Shake out. Do we feel warm-ish? Yes. Okay. I think we have covered enough warm-up. I actually feel warm now. I was running around trying to find a jumper before class because it was cold. But a wee bit of movement can actually be a catalyst for internal warmth. Whereas I find if I do get cold and I'm not moving, I can put jumpers on, I can eat and drink hot drinks, and I'm still cold. So it's amazing what a little movement can do. Okay, so let's jump in, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, to the form. I'm just thinking maybe we should give our legs a little bit of a stretch. That's one thing that we didn't do, the knee stretch. And I'd like to do the alternate or an alternate knee stretch today with you, which means no need to bend forwards. For whatever reason, sometimes people just can't bend forwards. So we're going to, you can stay facing front, please. You can kick out and step down, but keep it quite big. You can always make it bigger if you need to. We take the same side hand to the front leg, and to the back leg, that hand goes to the hip. And we're just going to push the hip forward. So you're not just resting the hand there, you're just using it a little bit to guide the hip forwards. And in effect, we're helping our hips to remain square to the front. So think of your hips like headlights on a car. You want the beams to go directly forwards. Don't let them open off to the corner. That should give you a nice stretch across the top of the hip. For me, I actually want a little bit more of a stretch, so I'm going a couple of centimeters further forward. And yes, that's more intense now. I feel a better stretch across the front of the hip. Notice we keep the heel down at the back there, and that will help to stretch the posterior chain, the calf muscles, the backs of the knee. Now we're going to bend the back knee a little bit. Now we're trying to keep the feet parallel at this stage. Do what you can. If it's not perfect, that's okay. Keep breathing and gently feed the weight back. So we're stretching the front leg. We're bending the back leg a little more, and again, we're keeping that heel down at the back. Good. We're listening for a comfortable stretch. Don't allow it to become a strain. And then we release and we can walk the feet gently in. That's the gentlest way that I've come across to bring your feet in. If you just go, whoop, maybe something will go ping. We don't want that. So let's do it on the other side. We're going to kick it forwards, step down. We've done the rowing the boat exercise, so we're already quite warm. Hopefully you're feeling warm. One hand to thigh, one hand to hip, and push that hip forwards. So again, if I show you from the side, yeah, we want to keep the hips square. Now again, I don't feel much of a stretch there. I'm going to go a bit further. I like this stretch, folks, because if you're like me, you probably spend a lot of your days seated. And that means that this area at the front, the quad, can get quite closed and tight. So by doing this, we're stretching the leg, but we're stretching the hip and the quad as well. Now, make sure your back foot is reasonably parallel and gently bend the back knee. It won't go very far, but do you see that's off the lock? It's that little bend. And then feed the weight back. Now, the longer your stance, the more subtle that feeding back will become, but you're feeding into the back leg. You keep breathing and release and walk your feet gently in. Very good. So I hope you enjoyed that. Stretching should be enjoyable. I was always very flexible. I'm hypermobile. So for me, in my youth, stretching was no problem at all. And I got really quite like, why are people, making these faces when they're doing stretching? Stretching was a pleasure. It was easy for me. Now I'm a little bit older and a little bit stiffer. I realize, oh, stretching can be a nightmare. It can be horrible, but it shouldn't be. So we just breathe, we relax, and we do what we can. Please never be tempted to bounce or shove your system into any kind of a stretch, because the likelihood is you'll just be tearing at least micro muscles. You'll be tearing fibers of the muscles and causing damage. And that's not what we want. We just want a nice, gentle release. In order to stretch, we need to relax, to breathe, and to release. And that allows the muscles to lengthen and not tear. So please be careful about that. I know it's tempting to push, but you don't want to push. And I'm hoping someone in the house will answer our front door. Sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, I think we're all good now to go. Let's have a look through our form from the beginning to, I'll just close the door here. Okay, good. Thank you. It's okay. They're all like walking it. Let's go from the beginning to the end of part one. Remember, I'm mirroring, so this is your left side, this is your right side. We're turning to the corners, but we're not turning to the sides. So I am editing in order to make this as clear as possible for you. Okay, so feet together, please. Let's lengthen up, chin slightly down and back, and breathe. Allow your system to release and calm. Listen behind. And let's find all 10 fingers, please. Lengthen gently down. Keep the top of the head light. You should feel a stretch up the back of the neck as the chin is down and back. Let's release through belly, hips, and knees. Opening left into center. Breathe in, find your fingertips. And breathe out, release through belly, hips, and knees. We release to the right. Turn to the left. Release to the left. Turn to the right, opening the right toe. Feeding forwards and glance to step forwards. Circle down and back to the corner. Make a shield. Expand the balloon, lift the front toes, the body turns, the toes open, and we pierce with the fingertips. Make a fist, fist into palm. Keep the hips level, up and down. Release, separate, right up, left down, and turn. Keep turning, feeding into your left foot, gather the right side, glance and step. Lazily tying the knot, left hand comes to the body, feeding across, opening shoulders, elbows, hands, fingertips, and relax to center. Good. Left hand releases into ward off position, rolling across and turn. Feed into right, screw into right, and apparent close up, filling the back, filling your hands. Relax to center and turn. Right hand draws back into hook, squaring up, draw needle and thread. Glance and step. Turn the palm, feet across, shoulders, elbows, hands, fingertips, right toes twitch in and relax the heel of the hand down. Relax into center. Hook towards hand. Open the hook as you draw across. Circle down. Draw across. Circle up. And across. We keep circling. Circle down. Lifting your left toes, turn out slightly. Make a shield with your left arm. Expand and release the right side. Pierce. Make a fist. Fist into hand. Keep hips level, up and down. Release. Again, we pierce up and press down. Feeding into the right, feeding into the left. Right side draws in. Right foot back. Turn left, left hand flips. Feed back, turn right, right hand flips. Release the left side down. Relax to center and chop. Step left. Oblique step, turn. Bend the front leg. Turn and pinch. Fill the small of the back. Tail comes under. Open shoulders, elbows, hands, fingertips. Relax to center. Release the right shoulder and hip back. Relax the arms down. Embrace knee. Up, weight back, guard position. Circle back and take 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. And oblique step again. We turn and feed the weight forwards. Turn, pinch. Fill your back, tail comes under. We open shoulders, elbows, hands, fingertips, and relax to center. Now I need to move back, maybe you do too. We embrace knee again, ready? So we release the right side, embrace. Arms up, weight back, guard position. Circle back, 3 steps forwards. 1, 2. This time we're going to turn and step. Palms face up, palms face out. Round and right hand into fist. Relax to center, check posture, and punch. Good. Release. And we bring the left hand under, is that right? Yes. And turn, right hand under, Keep turning, right palm flips. So both palms face down. Feed the weight back. Chicken opens its wings. Release the right side and come through. Again, hammer punch. We go up, down, up, and down. Release. Fill your hands with energy by relaxing into your hands. Float up, forwards and up. Look above the fingers. Right hand on the inside. We release and we relax down. We release to the right to feed in to the left. We glance to the right and step to the right. We look to the left and release both arms. Keep the spine straight as we bend the right leg. Keep the spine straight as we turn on that line. Feed the weight across. Left hand skims across the waist. Right hand follows. Turn both hands inwards into fists and press into the waist, feeding the weight into your back foot, your right foot. Glance over the shoulder, elbow, knees, and toes. Release, untwist. Come around and open your left hand. Right hand remains in a fist. We're facing slightly to the corner. Square up and feed into the right as we use the side of the fist to punch. Release and open the fist. Ward off position. Release to the right. Lift your left toes and turn out and step forwards. Keep turning, flip the hands over. Feed into your right, screw into your right, and fill your hands forward, fill your waist back. Check posture. Your left toes are just touching the floor or the balls of the foot if you have to, and rest. Good. Whew, deep breath. Excellent, well done. Okay, so just give yourself a moment. At any stage, you can sit if you feel you've had enough. Watching is very, very useful. We learn so much just from watching. So folks, I am trying to strike a balance, and it's a precarious balance. It was feedback I was given a couple of weeks ago was, I can do it comfortably if you don't go too slow. And I appreciate that. Yes, going slowly is torturous. If you have limited energy, or even if you have plenty of energy. Unfortunately, I'm still having to mirror, which is a complex thing going on in my brain. And I don't want to go so fast that you'll lose details. So I'm trying to go relatively fast, but we'll go a little bit quicker than we just did, if that's okay, now, and see how you get on. Actually, going a little bit faster leads to flow. Maybe it's easier to flow for most people if they're not going too slowly. We don't want to stagnate. We want the energy to actually flow. At one stage, I was doing the whole of Lao Jia. This is a quarter of it, but I was doing the whole form, and I was trying to get every movement as clear and crisp and precise as I possibly could. And so therefore I was going really quite slowly. And I was taking about half an hour to go from the beginning of the form to the end. And when I mentioned this to our master, to Chen, he said, that's way too slow. You want to be doing it in 15 minutes. Now, actually, for me, 15 minutes is fast. It's really, you know, you're motoring through. And that's fine if you're sure of the details. I can push. Now I can do it in 15 minutes if I want, but it's more comfortable for me to do it in about 20 minutes. So 20 minutes would be a nice, comfortable speed, and it still feels quite fast. So if you think of it, this is quarter of the form in 20 minutes, so that's 5 minutes for each section, and I consider that fast. Maybe 6 or 7 minutes for each section would be a comfortable, slower speed. But he reckoned that half an hour was just way too slow. Again, because the risk is that you're not actually flowing, you're going static and static and static, which creates stagnation. So that's Tai Chi is not about stagnation. We want flow. So I've given you a bit of time to relax while I banged on about that. So let's try it again. We'll go a little bit faster. And then after we have done it our second time, I will open the floor to any questions, any comments, just see how you're getting on. Okay, let's try again, please. Maybe not this time, but maybe if we do it a third time, I will actually be on top of you more. I'll just spend my whole time right up close so that you can see hands and details. The reason I start further back is because we have a lot of stepping forward. And if I just step forward, I'll be through the screen and out the wall. So I'm trying to limit the extra steps that I'm taking to keep myself in view for you. So let's try again. Ready? So we lengthen up and calm down. Gently press the fingers down. Listening behind. Ready? Release belly, hips, knees. Fill right, empty left. We step with the toe to begin. Foot down and into center. Off we go. We breathe in. And relax down. Release right. Open left. Ward off. Release and turn. Feed forwards and step. Release. Make your bar, balloon, and through. Up, down. Up, down. Pierce and press down. Weight changes into left, into right, glance and step. Lazily tying the knot. Apparent close up. Always after apparent close up, we have single whip. And we have this many, many times in the form. So it's a nice wee familiar move. Toes twitch in and relax down. And full circle. Open the hook. We just keep circling. We make a bar, we expand, release and come through. Up, down. Up, down. One up, one down. Same again. We gather in and we step back. Turn left, left hand flips over. Feed right, right hand flips over. Release the left side, it comes down, relax to center and keep going. Chop and step. Oblique step, we turn towards the right and bend the front leg. Turn and pinch. Fill the back, the tail comes a little under as you lift. Open shoulders, elbows, hands, fingertips, relax to center. Release the right side, embrace knee. Up, feed back, guard position. Circle back to the right and 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stay with you here as we turn to the right again and we do our oblique again. So we feed the weight forwards, turn and pinch. Fill the back, the tail comes under as you lift the hook. Open shoulders, elbows, hands, fingertips. Relax to center. Release the right side gently back and the hands embrace the knee. Up, feed the weight back, guard position. Now I need to go back. 3 more steps forward. So we go back and we step 1. We step 2. And this time we step through and turn the palms up, turn the palms down, feeding the weight left, feeding the weight right. Relax right hand into a fist and punch. Good. Bring the hand that was on the body underneath and turn. Feed the weight back, turn the palm. Expand, release to the right, and bring your right side through. Up, down, up, and down. Release. We're going to float up. You can bring the hands as high or as low as you want, doesn't matter. We want the right hand on the inside. Release, relax, down. So we're going to turn a little bit to your right in order to feed and extend through the left. Glance to the right and step open. Look and untwist both arms when you look left. Bend the left leg. Bend your right leg. Right arm down. Keep the arms in line with the body as you turn and feed across the waist. Keep turning both into fists. Press into waist. Line up, shoulders, elbows, knees, and toes. Don't forget about the top arm. It should be strong in line with your temple. Release out of it. Untwist. Right hand remains in fist. Wrap around and punch. Good. Release and gather into ward off. I'm going to step back and release. Lift your left toes. Turn, step right forwards. Keep turning. Hands flip over. Feed into your right. Screw into your right. And Charleston. Drop the elbows down as the hands feed forwards. And rest. Well done. Take a breath. Good. Hopefully that speed was comfortable. Good. You can do a wee heel tap. Come and talk to me. Let's see how you're getting on. Well, it's nice to see garden out there. Bit of nature. Very good. Okay. Pam, yes.
Sorry, I'm just being overly cautious with my foot, but I'm getting it.
You're doing really well. Yeah. If there's ever injury, our first priority is that we look after ourselves and we don't make the injury worse. So
Yeah.
at this, even if you don't get it, doesn't matter. Just do what you can comfortably. I think you're doing great considering. In fact, I'd actually forgotten that you had hurt your foot. So you're doing very well. Yeah, that's grand. Good. But yes, do just pay close attention. This Tingjun. Sunya is the Punjabi equivalent. It means listening. You have to listen. I'm getting my languages confused, but my intent is to say listen. Listen to your body. If it hurts, take a break. Don't push it.
Not,
A little bit, actually a little bit of movement and a little bit of a challenge, even for a broken bone, it stimulates the energy to flow into that area and it will aid recovery. At the same time, you don't want to overly irritate. And yeah, we just want to be kind to our bodies. But very well done. That's great. Any questions about any of it? Is there any part that's just not sitting right? No? Happy enough? Ursula, how about you?
The end bit, the last few moves, my hands were where they shouldn't be, and I'm where I shouldn't be. So,
Yeah.
I don't know where it starts to go haywire. I can't remember.
Maybe we've got the punch and the release and the coming up and down. Maybe that end section.
The bit where we have the fists fists are, you know, different
Yes,
one
the
way
punch
and
through
things like
back.
that. And it all goes a bit pear-shaped after that.
Do you know what? I might actually take some of the responsibility for that because I am in a state of confusion as we do it. I mean, I think I am doing it pretty good, but it's nothing like as clear and confident as it would be if I were doing it on the normal side. So it is tricky. There's a lot of twining, so twisting and untwisting involved. And I have actually seen recently the move coming out of punch through back. I've seen it done two different ways. And this is often, this is a thing that you'll come across in Tai Chi. The more experience you have in Tai Chi, the more things can actually appear muddy rather than clear because different people do it different ways. And they may be very high up in, you know, uh, in your association, and yet they're still doing it different ways. And I'm not just talking about senior teachers, I'm talking about masters and grandmasters. And this is quite typical, especially with Laoja, because Laoja means old frame. It's a framework of choreography that you can put whatever cladding you like on it. So think of like your house, you could decide to go with slate on the outside of the house, or you could decide to go with pebble dash or paint or wood or whatever. But the structure of the house is the same. So you could have a bunch of different houses, all with the same structure, and yet they look really different. Even the same master, if you see them 2 years running, or maybe a little time has passed between one class and the next class, they'll do it differently. And you go, you didn't do that way before, and they'll go, oh yeah, I've been working on it, and this is better, or it's just their way. It's kind of like making a curry. You could put lots of different stuff in it and it's still a viable curry. Whereas to the beginner, intermediate, and even the advanced student, even teachers, we like consistency. We like to be told this is how you do it and this is right and everything else is wrong. And that makes life a lot easier because you're going, right, well, it's this way. Whereas it's not like that at all. Actually, Tai Chi is a martial art. If somebody comes to attack you, you have to be able to adapt using the tools that you've got to actually protect yourself against that particular attack. So you may have a textbook movement, but if the person isn't attacking you in the textbook way, then that movement is useless. And therefore, a lot of variation is actually useful. And the ability to adapt, the ability to have neural plasticity is all important in our training, not just in martial combat situations, but in our form. So also it means that if you have a broken bone, you can adapt and still do the movements well. And if you feel, like you're full of energy, you can take big stances, deep stances, and expressive, explosive movements. And if you have a headache or if you're just depleted in energy, you can take small stances, you can go very gently, you can leave out any kind of explosive force, and it's still good. So I wish I could tell you there is one way to do Tai Chi and this is the way, and if you do this, you'll be brilliant. But that's not the case. Actually, you can see half a dozen peers, half a dozen students all doing it differently. And there are parameters, if you step outside of the martial parameters, then it's no good. But if you can make a movement work, if somebody attacks you and you can actually protect yourself with that movement, then it is considered good Tai Chi. So that's useful, not only by giving you a bit of leeway, but it also means that even if you're not doing it the way I'm doing it, you're not necessarily wrong. So that, there's good and bad to not being quite sure what you're doing. But let's have a look at that wee section. This is always the way. The last bit that you will have learned will always be the least well known in your body because we always start from the beginning And so our beginning gets better and better and stronger, but the last wee bit that we've learned will always be the weakest link. So it's good to just go over it. So let's have a go. I'll get off my knees. All right, so let's go from the punch. So we're going a wee bit further back, but I find that's useful. So don't just start where where the wheels fall off. Go back a bit where you're a little bit more confident, and that way we can blend and get continuity. Okay, so we have done our punch and we have released. We float up and we look over the hands and we bring the right hand on the inside and we release and relax through belly, hips and knees. So it's sinking and releasing the lower body that drags the the arms downwards. Okay, now the right hand is on the inside, so we're going to release to the right first. And then we feed into the left, and that's your silk reeling move. The thumb edge is completely under, and the right hand just finishes on the lung point, just inside of your shoulder. We look and we step open, and then we look back where we came to the left, and we release both arms from their twist. So we bend the right leg and the right arm comes down. The arms are still in front of your body. We turn on that line and we feed across, the left hand coming across the body, the right hand following, and we turn to the corner. Now both hands roll inwards into fists. So we're actually turning in. Do you see that? Turning in. Turning into fists, rolling into fists, and we're pressing into the waist, but that feeds the energy through the back and up into your right fist, which is palm facing out. And we're lining up, if you can, the shoulder, elbow, knees and toes, looking past them. Now we release. Now, the way I tend to do it is just untwist and let go, and the arms kind of roll out. So the palms are going more towards an upward position. We feed round, turning a little bit to the right corner, and your right hand is above the forearm of the left. And then we square up and feed into the right to do our edge of hand punch, hammer punch. Okay, now we release and the fist opens, ward off position. We release a little more to the right, we lift the left toes, we turn out and we step forwards and we keep turning, rolling the hands over. So just both hands have rolled over, we feed into the left, we screw into the left, and then Charleston the hands forward so the elbows sink down. Okay, so so that you're not exhausting yourself, you might want to watch it, and I'll show you again. I'll show you a little bit slowly, I'll show you a little bit faster, and then we'll do it together. Bearing in mind, I'm still doing it mirror, so it's not my I'm out of my depth from confidence, but I'm working it out as I go. So let's watch. So we have our stamp, release, right hand on the inside, release to the right, feed to the left, look to the right, step to the right, look to the left, release both hands, bend the knee, keep the spine straight, turn, arms don't move. Feed across, left hand across waist, keep turning, roll both hands in, press into the waist, feed into the fist, that's the punch. We release, untwist, round, right hand stays in fist, and square up and punch. Release, ward off, release, turning left toes, step through, keep turning, arms turn, feed into the right, screw into the right, and Charleston, and rest. Okay, so do you want to see it one more time? Maybe I'll shut up and just do it, and then we'll try it together. Or just want to try it? Yeah, okay, let's try. So we've done our up, down, down. And Keep the hips level. Good, very nice. Okay, so yeah, sometimes verbal instructions, though I did talk about Tingjun, this listening energy. Tingjun doesn't just mean listening with your ears, it can be listening with your eyes, it can be watching, it can be listening to your body, listening to the environment around you. Tingjun does not have limitations, it is just listening in general, will help you in every level. Good. Okay, we'll do that wee bit again, and then we're out of time. So let's do it one more time. So we go from the hammer punch. I think that's a nice place. Sorry, let's do it again. I'm going to come closer. I'm going to come closer. I want you to see as much as you can. Right, okay, so let's go again. We'll go from the hammer punch. Up, down, up, down. Step towards you. Keep going, turn. Good, and rest. Beautiful. Well done. So we ran out of time before I could do, what was I going to do? The whole lot close to you. But we'll maybe focus on that next week. So we'll do close up Tai Chi. So I'll just be as close as I can to you. It will mean that I'll have to keep stepping back so as I'm not going through you. But hopefully that will help with little details. As I say, I keep saying, do you have any questions? But sometimes, we don't know what to ask. And until you've seen up close, careful stuff, you may not know what to ask. I find it incredibly frustrating, actually, when teachers do not just kind of look at you and go, right, let's fix this. They wait for you to ask. Because if you don't know that you're doing it wrong, how can you ask a question? But it is a viable way of teaching. So I'm going to try and give you as many tools as possible, and we'll do that, as I say, next week. I'll come up close, so you'll maybe be able to see hand gestures that little bit easier. Okay, folks, let's finish with a wee warm down. Breathe and relax. Just any parts of the body that you felt were working, give them some attention now. So cup your hands, give everything a pat. This is called body conditioning. So that little bit of impact, you're being kind to your body, but that little bit of impact stimulates energy, which stimulates blood flow, stimulates strength. It helps your body grow stronger. So don't be afraid of a little bit of impact, because it can actually make you stronger. All right, shaking out. Let's do our 100 ailments go away. If you wish, you can keep your feet flat and just bounce. So you can do it this way. You see here. If you wish, if it's comfortable and safe for you, you can do your heel drops. Good, and relax your arms down. And just for a second, let's breathe into the body and feel, listen what's going on in there. Let's gather up the energy, cover center, hug the elbows in, breathing into your dantian, into your center. And feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today, for working so hard. I hope you're getting as much out of this as I do. I love Laoja. It is my favorite. You shouldn't have favorites, but I do. So I hope you're enjoying it. You're doing really well. And I look forward to seeing you next time.